Okay, let's talk about blowing. Darts through pipes, that is. So this is a little rant about another ridiculous weapon ban. On blowguns, also known as pipes. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Well, let's see. In Guatemala in the 1930s, a law was passed to ban blowguns in an attempt to protect small game. So, if too many people hunt small game with blowguns, what is the most reasonable legislation? I don't know, pass laws against animal cruelty? Try to regulate the number of animals that hunters may legally kill? Prohibit the use of blowguns specifically as a hunting tool? Nah, of course not. That would be way too reasonable. Who wants reasonable laws anyway? What's the solution? Ban blowguns. Obviously. And Guatemala isn't the only place either. In the UK and Australia, blowguns are banned as offensive weapons. Ugh, I'm so offended by those hollow wooden tubes. And in Canada, they are prohibited as a tube or pipe designed for the purpose of shooting arrows or darts by the breath or any similar device. Blowguns are also illegal in Massachusetts, California, Washington, New York City, Norway, and I'm guessing a few other places as well. And to give you an example of just how petty the squabbling over legal definitions can get, I found a case where someone appealed a decision by the Canada Customs which had seized a blowgun that was purchased as a decorative souvenir on vacation in Borneo. So this was sold to tourists, not something that an actual hunter would use. And the person who had brought it with him also showed a letter from the Malaysian consulate in Vancouver stating that the object is intended as a souvenir and not a weapon. The statement by the Canadian International Trade Tribune was as follows. The appellant has admitted certain facts, that the product in issue is a tube or a pipe. You got your ass busted now. You admitted that it's a tube or a pipe. You're in trouble now. And that it is a blowgun that can fire darts that could possibly cause injury. Just like a dildo could possibly cause injury if forcefully inserted into someone's rectum. Another statement was that the words any similar device should be given a broad interpretation. It is a tube or pipe that is designed for the purpose of shooting arrows or darts by the breath. Another quote, the respondent further submitted that muzzle velocity was not relevant in this proceeding. So if it's a toy that is completely incapable of hurting anyone, doesn't matter. Velocity does not come into the equation. But there was another case where it very much was relevant, so that they can't even make up their mind. There was another case where somebody brought toy blowgun and argued that, well, it is designed as a toy, it's incapable of even piercing human skin. They demonstrated that, and apparently it flies for a meter and then just drops off because, well, it's a toy. And in that case, they accepted that. In one other case where the appeal was actually allowed, the tribunal's decision was later appealed by the Canada Border Services Agency to the Federal Court of Appeal, and one of the reasons was the tribunal should have placed the onus on minor, the name of the person who brought the blowgun, to prove the blowgun was not a prohibited weapon. Instead, it erred by placing the burden on the CBSA to prove that the goods were designed for the purpose of shooting arrows and darts by breath. Whatever happened to innocent until proven guilty? The Canada Customs seriously tried to assert that it's that person's responsibility to prove that they're innocent. The Customs call something a prohibited weapon, and then they refuse the responsibility to prove that it is indeed a prohibited weapon. What is this? The Salem witch trials? You can just call out something, oh, this is illegal. What? Don't you look at me. It's your responsibility to prove that it's not. So what is all the fuss about? Apparently some people are scared by blowguns because they're silent and deadly and everything. Not that particularly deadly against humans, really, because they're designed to hunt small animals with. Yes, sure, you could use poison-tipped darts, but at the same time, poisons generally tend to be illegal in the first place, unless you concoct something in your kitchen. But that leads us to the real problem, namely intent, but I'll talk about that in a moment. You can argue that some blowguns can be pretty dangerous. You can achieve significant penetration in plywood, for example. Yes, blowgun darts can pierce into bone to an extent. They can produce injury. However, I'd argue that a kitchen knife can actually do more damage potentially. And why would you be obsessed with those things anyway? Is that some kind of epidemic violence wave involving blowguns? No, not really. In fact, I found one case where there was a series of drive-by shootings with a blowgun. Drive-by blowings? Anyway, in the Washington area in July 2002, where 19 people were hit by blowgun darts. Supposedly this was one person who did this. 7 were treated for injuries. Many of the injuries were only superficial, so nobody died of that. It weren't particularly serious injuries. And the darts were made of sharpened steel piano wire. So I guess we need to ban pianos now. But other than that, blowguns don't appear in any crime statistics. They would fall under other weapons, and it's probably so excessively rare that you would be hard-pressed to find any real statistics. I sure couldn't find anything, and I was looking for it. This one case of the drive-by blowings, or whatever, is really the only thing I could find. However, there is a significant number of people who enjoy blowguns for recreational use, target practice. So on the one hand, you have a number of people who get killed each year by blowguns, which is, I'm fairly confident, is around 0, if not exactly 0. And on the other hand, you have a number of people who would enjoy it as a hobby and can't because of this unreasonable ban. And yes, some people will argue that it's in fact not unreasonable because it is a weapon, it is designed to kill things and whatever, but it always comes down to the issue of design, which some people obsess over, unfortunately, including politicians and judges. But intent is what really matters. I know I may sound like a broken record because I have talked about that before, but there are many examples to illustrate that. This was designed as a weapon to kill both animals and human beings. Nowadays, nobody bats an eye at this because this is not associated with violent behavior anymore. This was repurposed. It is now a collector's item. It is now sports equipment. No problem, right? Also, a rifle that is specifically designed for Olympic sports shooting could still be used to kill someone, right? Just like a weapon that was originally designed for battlefield use can be used for recreational target practice or sports competitions or hunting. And before somebody comes up with a tired old nuclear bomb straw man, no, that's a different thing, because a nuclear bomb is pretty hard to repurpose, really. The only thing you could possibly argue is maybe collecting, but in that case, you can really have a deactivated one. I mean, you cannot use a nuclear bomb recreationally in a way that doesn't harm anyone. As soon as you use it, there's going to be significant damage, right? You can use a blowgun, a bow, a crossbow, a rifle, a pistol, a whatever, a slingshot, in peaceful ways that do not harm or endanger anybody, that are, you know, just for fun or whatever, other purposes. And I find the case of blowguns particularly bizarre because it's a pipe. It's just a pipe. That is why there are such cases of appeal, because it is sometimes hard to tell whether something was specifically designed for this purpose. Like, you would have to read the mind of whoever made this object. And you could, in fact, argue that those things that are brought home, if they are made specifically for sale to tourists, they are not designed to do this thing. They are just designed to be sold as souvenir. What matters more, the intent of the creator or the intent of the user? It should be pretty freaking obvious. So instead of banning blowguns, wouldn't it make more sense to ban the act of blowing a dart at somebody? Oh wait, it already is. Yes, right. There was this thing about, you know, assaulting people and non-consensual injury done and all of that. Yeah, guess what? It is already illegal. I mean, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that a hollow wooden stick or plastic tube or something should be legally used for recreational purposes. Maybe I'm completely off the rocker here, but what do you think? Do you think it's reasonable to ban things like that? I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think that absolutely nothing should be regulated whatsoever. There comes a point where banning something or regulating, restricting it at least, makes certain sense, like explosives, for instance. I wouldn't say that hand grenades should be readily available at Walmart or wherever. Although even then, of course, intent is again what matters most. Explosives can be and have been made of fertilizer and other commonly available materials. So people always find a way. And wouldn't it make more sense to try to address the root cause of the problem? For example, if too many people are violent, then maybe there's something wrong with that. Maybe we should look at things like income inequality and education and healthcare and a variety of other factors that come into play. Cultural norms, like how callous people are with regards to other people's lives and how much empathy they have and how these things are taught in school and by parents and all of that. And maybe also considering reality, taking a look at places where blowguns are in fact legal and where people don't run around the streets all the time blowing each other, shooting darts into each other's skulls. It doesn't seem to be a problem, so why make it one? Anyway, feel free to share your opinion. Let us know what you think about this. Despite the sarcastic bite in this video, for entertainment purposes obviously, I'm definitely willing to consider different opinions and have a bit of a discussion, even though I might not have too much time to participate in that. There's just too many comments going on, but in any case, yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can get back to blowing and stuff